welcome back to the Tenacious Toads YouTube channel. We have been seeing all of the incredible work that you guys are doing on Zern, and all of the incredible things that you were talking about with the district math packets in our small math groups. And one of the things that we kind of wanted to dig into a little bit deeper was about volume. So that's what we're going to be chatting about today. Volume is basically just how much stuff fits in a container. So what you were mostly talking about on Zern, I believe, and definitely what we're going to be talking about today, is the volume of rectangular prisms. So for instance, this box of pasta is a rectangular prism because its two bases are rectangles. And they're the same on either side, and then they have these edges that go equally all the way around. Or this box of tissues could also be considered a rectangular prism. Here the base is a square, but because the height's different than the length and the width, it's still a rectangular prism and not a cube. However, the formula that we're going to be talking about today also works for other regular 3D shapes. So for instance, this can of beans is a cylinder, and because the base here and the base here is the same, and then it connects all the way around in a regular pattern, the formula that we're going to be talking about will also work for this. Or this weirdly old box of Valentine's Day candy that I have, because if we're thinking of this heart shape as the base, and we have this is the same, and this is the same, and then it connects regularly all the way around, if we were to find the area of this base, this formula would also work. And this formula, of course, that we're going to be working with is base times height equals volume. And in Zern and in most problems, especially when it comes to rectangular prisms, we do length times width, which will give us the base, and then multiply it by height. So just the whole formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism or of a cube is length times width times height gives us volume. But in general, if we're going to be talking about things like cylinders or like triangular prisms, which would have a triangle as both of its bases, then we're just thinking about base times height. So base times height is a more general volume, but then length times width times height kind of expands it a little bit more and makes it a little bit easier to use for our problems. So over here on the board, I've drawn a rectangular prism with some dimensions, and we're just going to practice using this formula. So here I have the length as 5 inches, so I'm going to write 5. Then I have the width as 2 inches, so I'm going to multiply this by 2. And 5 times 2 I know will give us 10, so I'm going to put that in there just so I remember. And then keeping units, because it's now a two-dimensional thing, because we're finding the area of this, it's inches squared. Once I have this 10 for the base, I'm going to multiply it by the height, which is 7. So we're going to do times 7. And 10 times 7 will give us 70. And now our unit, instead of being inches squared, because we have 3 numbers, and this is a 3-dimensional shape, it's actually going to be inches cubed. Anytime that you're writing volume, it's whatever your unit is cubed, or to the 3rd power, because there's 3 dimensions. Just changing up the dimensions of this rectangular prism a little bit, we're now trying to find the volume of a rectangular prism that is 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters by 3 centimeters. And so looking back to our formula, the length here is 5, and the width here is also 5. 5 times 5 we know will give us 25, so I'm going to write that in here just as a reminder for myself. And that becomes centimeters squared, because this is the area. We're finding the area of the base. And then we're going to multiply this by 3, because that's our height. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 3 is 75. And that means that the final answer for the volume of this is 75 centimeters cubed, or to the third power, because there's 3 numbers, 3 dimensions. And just to show you guys how this simplified version of the formula for volume with just base times height would work with shapes that aren't rectangular prisms, I've poorly drawn a can up here, kind of like this one that we have. And I've said that the area of the base is 7 inches squared, because it's already the area and not just a line, not just a measurement, but an area. It's already in inches squared. And then I said that the height was 4 inches. And then because 7 times 4 gives us 28, our answer would be 28 inches cubed, because it's volume. So yeah, that's kind of the general overview of how volume works. First, you want to find the area of the base and then multiply it by the height. So when dealing with rectangular prisms, the area to find the base is going to be length times width, because that's how we find the area of a rectangle. But if you're finding the volume of a triangular prism and the base is a triangle, you want to use the formula for finding the area of a triangle and then multiplying that by the height. Similar to if you're finding the volume of a cylinder, you would use the formula to find the area of a circle and then multiply that by the height to get the volume. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope that you guys are staying safe and healthy and active and washing your hands. Keep doing all of your schoolwork, keep working on Zern. You guys are doing incredible, and we'd love to see all the great work you're doing. But yeah, I will see you guys at morning meetings and at math small groups. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or one of your other teachers. But yeah, that's it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.